What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction on the channel. Today I'll be reacting to the first episode of Terminator Zero. Just a bit of background on me and Terminator. It's really not too there's not too much, to be honest with you guys. I remember watching Terminator 2 quite a lot as a kid. It always used to be on the kind of movie channels. I never watched it like in full. I always saw like scenes from here and there. I usually like tune in like halfway through the movie. And it was alright, I liked it, but it wasn't like one of my favourite things ever or anything. But relatively recently, maybe a year or two ago, I watched the first Terminator and I thought that was really good. Very much more horrific in kind of tone than Terminator 2, but then obviously watched Terminator 2 and yeah, one of my favourite movies now that I kind of understood it a bit more. But I haven't actually seen anything other than Terminator 1 and 2, so this should be quite interesting. I think there's like 3 or 4 sequels since Terminator 2, but again, I haven't checked any of those out, so there might be quite a lot here I don't understand, so be prepared for that. Do let me know what you guys think about this first episode though down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. To be honest with you guys, I don't really see it as a negative thing that I haven't seen any of the sequels. I haven't heard the best of things about them, so I just haven't really bothered checking them out. I think the third one, spoilers if you haven't seen it, I think the third one has like a woman Terminator. That's all I know. And it's kind of similar to the, I can't remember the name for it, but the liquid metal one. It's like in a similar nature. I've seen some scenes of her like fighting, but I haven't actually watched Terminator 3. And nor Dark Fate or Terminator Zero. No, this is Terminator Zero. I can't remember what the other ones are. But I do wonder if we'll see it and animate Arnie. I doubt it, but it would be quite funny. But again, the second one, when I actually went back and watched it in full and paid good attention to it, it's a fantastic movie. I love a lot of the movies from that director. Oof. Oh, gore already. I really liked some of the, I guess you could call it gore with the effects of the Terminators when they get like their skin ripped off and stuff, but there's not really much gore actually in the first 2 movies, I remember. Yep. Yeah, I like shots like that a lot in the live action movies. The fucking stormtrooper aim, of course. Like, why are you aiming at the ground, bro? Just up a bit more. Wow, how many bullets did that guy just waste? Like 200? Nice. Oh shit. Virus. That's a handy tool to have against these, that is. If you can get up close to them. Huh. I don't believe we saw anything like that. I haven't. Okay. Interesting start. I like the fact that there's not actually been a single word spoken yet. Action. And it was alright. Again, I don't like the fact the classic fucking stormtrooper missing 300 minigun bullets when it's like almost impossible not to hit one. But that's always going to be a thing. I also find it like interesting the choice of music. I don't feel like it's quite chill, the song. I don't know, maybe it should be a bit more ramped up perhaps. Oof. Oh shit. But I still got his eyeballs. Still get to see all this. Okay, so this is 25 years in the past. And for that shot there, they use the same music. I'm hoping that's not going to be a common occurrence. I feel like that music fit very well. I'm also kind of hoping, just to pause for a sec, I am kind of hoping that this, just for again, for my knowledge, because like I said, I've only seen the first two, I'm hoping this is like, I'm not sure how this kind of fits in like the timeline, which is already quite, what's it called? Complex, I think. Like I said, I haven't seen the other movies, but I've heard the timeline is quite complex with those included. So I'm hoping this is just on its own, if you know what I'm saying. This is just a piece that isn't like, attached to any other parts. Obviously attached to the story of Terminator, but hopefully, again, for people like me, it can't just be just viewed on its own as like another Terminator piece of media. But honestly, not the most impressive start. It looked alright, to be honest with you guys. It looked fine. Some shots were really. I really like that shot of the wave of that blast there, but the music kind of stood out as not really fitting the tension of the scene. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit of a music snob because I've been listening to a hell of a lot of Kira Yamaoka recently. Been listening to a lot of his work and fucking hell, he's an absolute genius. Oh shit, look at this. Ah, I thought that was Dio for a second. Kind of sounded a bit like him. Sounds very similar. Also, apologies to pause again, but I'm not sure if you're hearing this as well, but the sound is quite low. Is that Dio?
知識は力だ。知識があれば支配に抗うこともできる。よく覚えておきなさい。おい、これ。
Nice place they've got here.
ミキサーも。
パーツが欲しかったんだ。先週末約束したじゃん。部品をたくさん買いに連れて行ってくれるって。
仕事から帰るまでに直して。
また仕事の話？
分かってる。申し訳ない。もっとお前たちと一緒にいてやりたいが、今は大事な時なんだ。
そうやっていつも大事な時大事な時って。
お前がそういうのも無理はない。今はすまないとしか。だが、いつかお前にもわかる。ヒロとレイカは
寝てる。
ミサキはどこにいるんだ？
Okay. Santendo. Robot cat. So this is 1997, they said, right? The robot?
その店員が何か失礼よ。
いえ、私のことが見えてないみたいで。
ああ、すいません。おい、いいの。
はい。
You know.
いかがいたしましょうか。
いや、こちらのお客様だ。
So this is like a, is this like a different timeline or something then? Because and from the movies I saw, there was any robots apart from, although I'm not sure when they were set. They were obviously made in like the 80s, but
おい、いいの。子猫の在庫はあるか？
there wasn't any robots apart from the Terminator that got sent to the future or the past, sent back to the past, not the future.
毎度。メーカーに送り返すしかないか。
So yeah, in the two movies I saw, in the first one, Arnie got sent to the future, the past, to kill kid's name I can't remember. Who will lead the kind of rebellion against the robots. And then in the second one, the same thing happened, but Arnie was sent back to protect the to-be leader. And that was after a Terminator got sent to kill that person again. So he actually, it was a massive twist I heard back in the day. Again, I wasn't born then, but because Arnie was the villain in the first one, he kind of came back in the second one as like the hero to save what he would have been, like to take on what he would have been in the first one. I've majorly confused that. It's very simple, so I don't know how I've done that. But yes, there was. I don't remember anything being majorly technologically advanced in their kind of time. But like I said, I'm not sure if they were actually set. I think it was set in the kind of not so distant future. It might have been set in the time they were recorded. I'm going to assume they were set in the time they were recorded, so like the 80s and maybe the late 70s. I think the first one. I'm not sure. I think the first one was like late 70s, early 80s. I think. Again, I'm not 100% sure about that, but if that is the case, then yeah, there's like 15 or so years difference, I guess, between this and them. So in that timeline, it might have been robots working in shops, but I don't remember anything like this. So again, maybe I'm taking this as this is its own kind of. This really is kind of standalone, and because there's robots in this day and age, that's telling me that. Like I said, I'm not really sure. Help me out in the comment section if you guys know for sure. Like I said in the intro, I won't be able to like recognize every little thing. Like maybe this was a thing in one of the other movies. I don't know.
するんじゃない。ロスに3000万の投資があると伝えろ。ケンタ、これを片付けなさい。20分で準備しておけ。今までどこに行っていた、美咲？
郵便局に行くようにとおっしゃられたので、帰り道で。
もう9時過ぎだ。1時間前には戻っていろと言っただろう。
申し訳ありません。私。
今夜は帰らない。おそらく明日も。子供たちは9時半までに寝かせるように。
明日帰ってこないの？
パークに行きたいのは分かる。
Is that? I can't imagine that's his daughter. Purely based off skin color. Again, you shouldn't judge everything based off skin color, but I can't imagine this is his daughter. So is this just a girl that looks after his kids? A nanny?
別の日にみんなで行こう。約束だ。その袋は何だ？
お子さんたちが猫を飼いたいと言っていたので、でもヒロさんはアレルギーがありますし、これならいいかなと。猫だ。
He's gonna hate that. You just know.
返してこい。
Yeah.
ダメだ。
We know he's got some kind of big role
帰るまでにあのガラクタはちゃんと片付けなさい。
in this future, don't we?
そのロボットは早く家から出すんだ。必ずな。
Hates it.
承知しました。
夜までには私のデスクの上に返品レシートを置いておけ。
父さんは一日中仕事で機械いじりしてるくせにさ。
There doesn't seem to be much technology in this house, does there? From the shots we've seen.
ダブスタって何？人によってルールがコロコロ変わるってこと。ダブスタ反対。でもせっかくだし、朝の間だけこれで遊んでもいいよね。そうだよ。ねえ、いいでしょ、美咲。お願い。お願い、お願い、お願い。
そうですね。夜までにはとおっしゃっていましたし。
やった。どんなジンバルが使われてるのかな。ダメ。いいだろ、ちょっと。
Surely you shouldn't be allowed to take it back once you've opened it like this, right?
ロボットだからじゃないの。
Because it's a robot.
猫だからなの。
Ah. Oh, I got the totally the wrong idea. Thought it was because it was a robot. Because, like I said, there doesn't seem to be too much technology or anything at all here, considering there's robots that work in shops. I think he definitely knows the dangers of technology, so I figured that's why, but there's another robot there. That turns around and looks at us. Yeah, you fucking rat.
随分降りますね。嵐が来ますよ。分かっているさ。
The robot pushing. Classic Japanese trains there, by the way. I always find that hilarious. That they jam those people in there like that. They're like so polite and nice. And then there's just random things like that of just jam all these people in the train. Yeah, get out of there. Oh, shit. John! 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 Fucking robots. You caused this, by the way. Oh my god, he's dead. That's horrible, that is. Because, like, what do you do there? Your initial reaction is to get out of the way, but then you've killed yourself. But if it was someone else, like you've just killed some person in the place of a dog, which we all love dogs, but don't get me wrong, I don't think there's the same value. I think you'd much, if one had to die, I think you'd much rather a dog die than a human, depending on who that human is, of course. But this is all his fault, really. Although maybe I'm putting that, maybe I'm one of those robot racists. I was going to bring this up earlier, the fact that Pluto seemed to have a kind of similar kind of world of robots, a bit more advanced perhaps, but similar in the sense that robots being about like this. And that asked some really interesting questions. I didn't really like where that went by the end of things, but I really appreciate the world building in that. So maybe I'm being again racist against the robot here. He was just trying to do his job, to be fair, but the way he picked up that dog was not right at all, was it? That was awful. And why is he out walking a dog anyway? I mean, it's probably due to the owner's laziness. But wow, that really sucks, doesn't it? I do kind of love the fact that John. So he just repeated his name. That's going to change. That's going to do anything. John. You're a robot, bro. You gotta listen to you. And do you know what as well? It's almost another sad thing. I think a lot of people would actually be happy that the dog didn't die. Whereas it's kind of sad that the guy just didn't carry on driving actually. Especially because he's a good guy, you can tell, because he moved out of the way of a dog. He done the right thing. He was going hella crazy fast, wasn't he? So. And look at that, he just doesn't give a fuck. It's just the objective. John, the dog. Gotta walk the dog. It's a dead person right there, but I've been very interested about robots recently and AI. It's been a particular interest to me recently, actually. So this show's come out at a pretty good time. Hakase. He is a scientist, which again I think we could assume an important scientist that knows probably something very important that the robots might want to get their hands on. Judging from the turn from that other robot, the evil glare. Well, they got the Kyber Corp. Like a Kyber Corp. Take your time then. So I've got one thing I'm going to bring up in a minute when we get to the end of the episode. I can't wait. Oh, this is an extended first episode. I didn't realise that. It's actually 27 minutes. I think all the other episodes are going to be about 23 minutes long, so slightly shorter. But there was one thing I did want to look up actually. This guy, I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I'm not sure I'm correct in saying this. But I think he might. Is he the same guy from the second movie, the black scientist? That was again a major plot point. I forget the name of him. That was always when I mentioned the intro when I tuned in like halfway through. That was always when I'd like tune in when it got to that guy's kind of segment in his house. Terminator 2 characters. Miles Dyson, this dude. Because obviously they're black as well. his family's black. I think he's got a couple kids, and obviously we see his wife. I can't remember how many kids he has. It might just be the one. I think it's just a little boy. Is it oh no, he's got a little girl as well. I don't know if this is like meant to be him and his family. I'm not sure we got this guy's name yet. If we did, apologies, but I'll try and be on the lookout to see if he's called Miles Dyson. I'm not sure he is, to be honest. But I've had that on my head for a minute, so I had to get that out there. Is this him? Not really sure. I don't know too much about Miles Dyson, to be honest with you guys. Apart from the fact, again, spoiler, although I'm not sure if you'd be watching this if you haven't watched Terminator 2. He did die, I believe, so that was Malcolm. Okay. But maybe this is like another version of him, another universe or something. I don't know. I do remember liking Miles Dyson though. He was a good guy. How does he know what's going to happen? A good question. Like, we all know this is going to happen. How does he know? That was quite the dramatic turn there, wasn't it? Quite dramatic in general, this guy, isn't he? This is very different, this is. Very different, this is. What the fuck am I looking at? Future. Okay, lots of questions. So is that the woman that we were just speaking to? No, it wasn't. Her name's Aiko, and the woman we were just speaking to is Kokoro or something. Yeah, Kokoro. That's not her. Okay. Again, I've got a lot of questions. Like I said a minute ago, this feels very different from anything I've seen from the Terminator series so far, which isn't inherently a bad thing. Again, I kind of love the formula of the Terminator movies I have seen. They were quite different, but similar in the kind of chase aspects. I love the kind of rat, kind of cat and mouse kind of chase of the first two movies. And obviously we haven't seen any of that yet. I'm hoping that's the thing, because like I said, that's why I really like the first and the second movie. But yeah, this feels much more technologically advanced than anything I've seen. But it's a very different style as well. The anime take on Terminator, huh? Very interesting. Like, what the hell is that he was just speaking to? Like, what is that? Is it like some kind of, I don't know, super advanced artificial intelligence? Like, it has the power to solve the problems, but would it? Like, how? Like, did he create that? Was it just there? Did he discover it? Like, I got lots of questions. I got lots of questions. And when you do think back to, again, the movies I spoke about many times now, 1 and 2, they're actually quite simple, even though time travel and such can get quite complex. They're both actually very simple to understand what's going on. If you want to look at it very deeply, it can get very confusing. Like I said earlier, that thing pretty damn effective against these Terminators, so let's keep that safe. Again. So yeah, they're sending someone back. I like that. I was going to mention, I kind of hope we get to see someone get sent back, like from the future. I'm not sure I've seen that. We've obviously seen it a couple of times. People get sent. We haven't seen the actual it happening. Them sending someone back. I don't think. Maybe we saw glimpses of it in the first one, but I do quite like the fact that we're getting a better look at this actually. Again, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised the Terminator can take a hell of a lot. Here we go. Here's a good place to get. Well, I was about to say here's a good place to get rid of a Terminator. This is where they're making them. Okay, so who's getting sent back to kill? Most likely Malcolm. Okay, I got no fucking idea what's going on in these scenes. Him seeing the future, more of the future, and like I keep saying, I've got plenty of questions about just how this is possible. So yeah, he is the target. If we don't get Arnie, I want to see like a little Arnie reference or something. I would fucking die if we actually both heard and saw Arnie. If we heard him in the Japanese, Japanese animation, I think I might just lose my mind. Come with me if you want to leave. So this is our chaser of sorts. As I spoke about earlier, there's usually a cat and mouse game, and this guy is going to be the cat. And that is it. So there's 3 minutes of credits. There usually is quite a lot of credits in Netflix shows, aren't there? Yeah, thank you guys for watching. So it wasn't exactly an extended episode then, it was 3 minutes of credits. So hopefully the upcoming episodes, like I said, they're all slightly shorter, so hopefully they're not 3 minutes of credits. I don't really like the amount of, I mean, fair play credit, people who work on the show, we've always got to do that, but I do wonder why Netflix, they never seem to have openings or endings, and they always just seem to have a really long credit sequence, which again I much prefer to see the credits in a more stylistic way. But again, a little nitpick. Decent first episode, quite confusing in terms of what the hell's like. We can understand the gist of things. This guy's an important scientist. He inevitably helps the resistance in the future, big part of the future. We haven't heard anything about John Connor or his mum or anything. To be honest with you, I forget if it actually was. I think it's John Connor, but I think it's actually like his mum. Obviously, his mum raises him to be John Connor, but I think she's actually like. I remember hearing a huge debate about who was actually more important, John Connor or John Connor's mum, and I think they're actually like equal importance. But yeah, no mention of either of them. I don't think there will be either. Like I said earlier, I think this might be a real kind of standalone, maybe alternate universe type of depiction of Terminator. Obviously, we recognise the exoskeletons, and I think they're called exoskeletons. I might be totally wrong, but I'll just call them Terminators. I recognise the Terminators, but that's pretty much all I recognise. There's a few similar type of characters, as I said with this Malcolm. He kind of seems similar to Miles Tyson, I think his name was. He kind of seems similar. This world definitely seems quite a bit more advanced for 1997. With robots working in shops and walking dogs, walking old people, for example. But yeah, there's again, I don't really. It doesn't feel too Terminator at the minute, other than the fact that there's Terminators. So that should be interesting going forward. I think that might change now that we're actually kind of getting, like I said, the usual kind of cat and mouse situation. That probably make it feel much more like it. But I think especially this scene kind of stood out to me, like, what the hell is going on here? We're just talking to this thing, AI robot. I'm not sure what it is. It's very ambiguous at the minute, but it's so his nightmare. Was that something that just came to him, or was he shown this and then that became a nightmare for him? I almost think he was shown the future by this thing, and obviously he's planning on helping out humanity in the future. Where did this get that from? It's quite confusing, and like I said, I've heard that the sequels away from 2 are also quite confusing as well, so I haven't watched any of them. So maybe they'd make my brain hurt a little bit as well. Maybe there's things similar to this. Maybe this kind of links into some of that stuff. But I feel like this is almost, I wouldn't say like a step too far, but like an all-knowing kind of AI that shows you the future and such. I wouldn't exactly say the Terminator series is majorly grounded, but it does always feel quite grounded. It does feel like it could actually be a possibility in the future. Whereas this feels like, yeah, years and years and years away. So not sure what to make of this stuff. That's probably the standout part that I don't like too much. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty decent start. Obviously, again, I think the best of this series will come in the middle / end portion. But do let me know what you guys think about this one down in the comment section. Definitely wasn't as impactful as like the start of either of the movies. The first movie had a really awesome intro, and the second one's intro is just legendary. So it's always going to be hard to, to follow those up. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this first episode in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and if you guys want me to watch more of the series. At the minute, I haven't really got any plans of when I'm uploading this or anything, so I just thought I'd check out the first episode, see what you guys think as well. But yeah, again, definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Leave a like if you want to see me watch this show, episode 2, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with any of my reactions. And yeah, I'll see you guys then.